Hey, what's up, everybody? My name's Alckemy, and I have a question for you. Are you a sound mangler? Do you enjoy messing things up? Well, you might want to check out Cluster Delay, which is a review that I'm going to be doing that's long overdue, and I am a fan of it. I would definitely say don't take my word for it, demo everything, watch some other videos on it and stuff, but I will be glossing over, for one, how it sounds, and two, some of the subtle but really important features that I tend to value out of a plugin like this. One of the biggest things that Minimal Audio has done that I adore is that every plugin has a soft clipper built into it, or a hard clipper, I think is what the orange is. And I like that because that means that I can push a sound harder, I can push a sound further, or turn it up as much as I want to without it, blowing my speakers out, in theory, quote, in theory. Aside from that, though, this is a really solid delay that can do a really wide range of things, especially if you are a sound mangler. So if I were to set this into just default here, then you're going to hear that it's relatively like a standard delay. So we can just take a listen to what that sounds like. And, if you just want to use it as something like that, then you can utilize more taps. You can change the mode to mid-side or stereo, which can sometimes be really cool. You can modify between sync and normal and free and triplet and dotted. And then there's this analog mode, which I guess I don't really know what this does, but the delay line will use analog modeled processing inspired by vintage delays. I don't know, sounds cool. The other thing is that you can sync this up, which it will kind of like work, the spread will work in tandem to whatever the time is, and sometimes that can be kind of cool. On paper, it doesn't really make a big difference with what you do, but it's nice. And then with this, you have snapping with your spacing, or you can turn this off to make everything kind of move off. You can scatter it, you can make it a ramp so that way it goes up or it goes down. You've got a high pass and a low pass, you've got a kill button, which I believe, yeah. And then on this, you actually have built-in effects that you can change the routing of, that cycles between wobble, you can turn this on, diffusion, chorus, phaser, flanger, and frequency shifter. And so behind that, I really think that the magic of this is not being used as a typical delay, but as a sound mangler. And if you know me and you know MudPie's, delays are the way. Delay is the way. It does have a ducker that's built in, which is pretty cool, but let's just go ahead and mess around with some of these sounds on this, and you can kind of see what results I get out of it without having to do too much. Some pretty cool stuff, especially for glitches and whatnot. If we were to type in a drum loop on here, perhaps. I don't know who made this, but that's a sick drum loop. But what would happen if we put cluster delay on this? And this is something that I do a lot, so, just let it be known. pretty sick. So if you think about doing this and you start adding other stuff on top of it, then the sound design possibilities that you can utilize with this are pretty vast. And I particularly really enjoy using cluster delay for just different types of weird glitches and sounds that I find, I guess interesting, for lack of better vocabulary. But if you combine this with something like fuse compressor, or you have, a second one of these, that one of them is like a single tap that's just creating pitch whips and stuff, and then you have another one that's being smeared through a delay or something of the sort, then you can get a lot of really cool sounds. So within this, I think that it's important to realize that this isn't the only thing that can do like the pitch whipping and stuff. So for example, if you have the delay plus, then there are some other cool things that you can do, because on paper this isn't all that exciting, but if you were to nest other devices in here, you can create something that is relatively unique or whatever. One thing that this has is fade, and that's where if you are working on this, it won't do pitch whipping. I find that it's not as interesting as doing that though, so. And this tends to be a little bit cleaner, I think. But yeah, you just kind of have to weigh out the options. I tend to use both delay plus and cluster delay, just depending on how I feel during the day. But I do enjoy it, and I think that it is a high quality effect. I just don't know if it's going to replace something that you already have. In any case, it's a great effect, and I use it fairly often. It's also embedded within Current, so that's really good. Give it a try, see if you like it, and let me know what you think on whether or not cluster delay is for you. Cheers, everybody.